Hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the day fourth of bootcamp. I hope I'm audible. Just let me know as we do always in the chat section whether I'm audible to you properly or not. Good evening everyone. And don't spam this present, sir. I know already you are all present over here. I will be sharing the attendance link at the last 5 minutes, so don't worry about that. Just tell me whether I'm audible or not. Yes, present mat bolo. Correct. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can you guys let me know that what we have seen in yesterday's class, what we have covered in yesterday's session? Just let me know what we have covered in yesterday's session. Bhushan, you are also present. Welcome, man. Let me just share my screen, guys. Just 1 second. Meanwhile, you can let me know in the chat section what we have seen in yesterday's session. What we have seen in yesterday's session. Just let me know what we have seen in yesterday's session. Yes, we did see what is use effect, what is, oh, it is not use hook. How to use hook, we have seen use effect and use state. And I have shown you one example of counter, how you can use counter for incrementing and decrementing the values. Apart from that, we have also seen the conditional rendering of that particular button, which is disable button. How we can disable one particular button on some properties, like using some properties, conditions. Very simple. Apart from that, we have seen one example of how to create one simple clock, okay, using use effect and set interval. Correct. So we have covered up till this particular time, up to this particular part in React. So today, uh, yes. So today, what we are going to see how props, how we can pass props in React. Props means what? That also I will explain to you. Apart from that, we will see what is context API, how to use context. Okay, first of all, what is context API? I will explain it to you. I will show you some hands-on as well over here. Right? There is nothing that we are doing. See, from tomorrow, see, as whatever topics we are learning today, that will be helpful for you to create one project. From tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting our project, which is our to-do application. So how to fetch APIs, how to add arrays, how to map them on our website. We are going to see all those things step by step, right? So these 3 days are going to be most important for you. Up till now, we have just covered the basics of how we can play around with React, right? I hope everyone is understanding. Correct? Okay, sure. So let's get started with today's session, right? And just don't spam this present server here. I will be sharing the attendance link in the last 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. Correct. Meanwhile, have you guys completed that homework that I have given to you yesterday, that increment and decrement counter? Are you guys able to do it, or faced any issues, any errors? If you are having, please let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you are having any issues or something like that. Okay, Manish is saying done. Okay, I can only see one people has done with the homework that I have given. Okay, two. At least 10-20 people should be there, like, who are able to complete that particular thing. If you are saying no, tell me, like, if you are facing any issues or something like that in the code while writing the code. Just let me know if you are facing any issues. Okay, Guruver is saying done. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. No issues. Okay, so my screen shared. Let me started the session with today's thing. So today, actually, what we are going to see, first of all, we are going to see what are props. Props means what? In short, props means properties. Okay. Apart from that, before learning that thing, let us learn how to map the array on React page. Okay. So in JavaScript, you might have learned the higher order functions like we are having map, we are having filter. Okay. On array, we used to apply this particular functions like dot map. Okay. So dot map will give us what? It will give us a new array actually. Then we are having for each method. Then we are having filter method. Then we are having reduce mode method. Likewise, we are having many higher order function methods in our JavaScript. Okay. Does anyone remembers that? Does anyone know what are higher order functions? How we used to use our map functionality? Does anyone knows? Does anyone can recall? It is so blur. Uh, why it is so blur actually? My video quality is 1080. I don't know. Yeah, it's perfectly clear on my side. Okay, I have also opened it on my mobile phone, so I think that is perfectly visible on my screen. So just need to improve your video quality from your side, from your mobile. Just increase it manually, right? Okay. So now without a further ado, let's get started. Okay, we have like little more things to know today, and from tomorrow onwards, we'll be working on our project. Okay, sure. So first thing that I want, okay, here is my function application. What I will do over here, I will take one array. Okay, that array value could be anything, or let's say let's take one variable by the name items. Okay, I will be using this set items functions. Oh, sorry, it should be comma over here. Perfect. And then I will be using use state over here. Correct. And initially I will attach it with some array of objects, let's say name and last name. So it can be anything. Let's say, let us take someone's name. So one we are having, let's say Sanket, and let's take let's take it last name as well. Perfect. So here we are having one array item. Let me add one more. So currently we are just seeing how to map this particular array elements in my React application. Okay, it's very simple. Let me take any other. Dear sir, please change your VS Code theme. This eats my brain actually. See, we are trying different things in last 2 days actually. Yesterday it was light theme, white theme. Today I have tried this jellyfish theme. I think this is a very perfect theme actually, and my on my screen as well it is like perfectly working. In my second system I have opened it, so it is perfectly visible to me as well. Correct. Perfect. Okay. Next thing, what we can do? Okay, let's check someone name. So it's Guruvir Baraj. Okay, let's take his name. I hope he don't have any issues. Perfect. Okay, so we have actually two item added over here in my items. Okay, which is what? Which is array of object. Correct. As you can see directly over here. Apart from that, I need to like first of all, I want a list of all student over here. So I will simply write list of students. Perfect. Okay. Now you already know that if we want to use JavaScript under in my HTML, what we need to have? We need to write it in curly brackets. That's the very simple first rule. Correct. Apart from that, okay. Apart from that, what we can do as of now is so I want just to append this particular list of name and last name that we are having in my array over here. So for that, what I can do, I can say, okay, the list name is items dot. I will be using this particular method, map method. Okay. And there is one callback for this particular method. Perfect. So let me pass something over here. Let's say, let's call it element. Okay. Apart from that, and then this function is gonna return me something. So normally this map method will return me a new array. Correct. Those who have worked with JavaScript, those who know ES6 basics, so they are able to understand this, that map method will return to me a new array which is created, right? So after return, you need to follow the same method which you are following over here in function app. Correct. You are writing return, And let's say if you want, if you just simply want to use one HTML tag, okay, so you can write it in one single line. So instead going this, let's say if I'm saying element dot and I'm saying name, perfect, name and last name. If I just save this thing, if I first of all I need to restart it. I guess I haven't started it over here, so I will be saying yarn dev. Okay, and in this localhost I will start. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, I am getting the list of student. Okay, first is Sankit, second is Gurveer. Perfect. Apart from that, see what I have written over here. I have written all this HTML code in one single line. But if I have to write the code which is more than one single line, more than one single HTML tag, then I need to wrap it up in React fragment. Okay, otherwise it will give me the error. Perfect. So how you can do that thing, how you can achieve that thing, you need to write parenthesis, and this is the syntactic sugar fragment form in React. Very simple. And then I will be using, let's say, this h1 tag for listing down the name, items. Sorry, it should be not items, it should be element dot, let's say, name. And second thing, it can be taken, should be something like this, element dot last name. Perfect. And if we go over here, yes, we are able to get it right. Or if I use just a simple spam tag, okay, we will be getting these two different students name, and actually they are coming in one single line. So what I can do instead of that, I can use div over here. Let's see how it is coming now. Perfect. So actually they are coming in separate line once they are coming joining. Okay, because just because we have used span tag over here. But are you guys understanding what I'm trying to mention? If we want to list down array items on our web page in React, okay, using JavaScript, how you can achieve that thing using this map method. Perfect. Yes, Gurveer, you are right, but let us understand the things step by step. I know you are like, you know, React basics and all this thing, but a lot of students don't know what are keys and all that thing. So we need to come to that step, okay, one by one. Okay, perfect. So of course, like we are able to see the list of students over here, but now if we just inspect this page, okay, if you just go to console, correct, it is giving me this particular error that okay, each child in the list should have a unique key prop means what? Prop means properties. That's just a abbreviation in short form, correct. So key means what? I will tell you now. So key means whenever we are just listing down, okay, on any, we are just hovering on our area array, correct. So at that time, we need to pass one key over here. Okay. And that key should be unique in your array. That can be any ID number or something like that. So for that, what I can do as of now, see, instead of that, if I just go here and if I say index or something like that, I think this will work. But apart from that, majorly what is happening now, uh, in company you will be having database, and for each particular database you are having one ID, correct. So let us just add IDs over here. So this is ID number 0. As we are programmer, we know indexing start from 0. Perfect. Okay, ID 0 and ID 1. So instead of using this index, I will be using simply ID over here, and I will be saying, okay, use this element.id. It should be element.id. Perfect. I will save this code, we'll go back, and now just see if it is resolved or not. Yes, it is completely resolved. I hope now you are getting this thing. Correct. So you need to have one key or one specific ID for your array items. Okay, whenever you are mapping throughout one particular array. Correct. Very simple thing. Okay. Apart from that, you can use conditional rendering over here as well. So how you can use conditional rendering? Let me take some more. Let me take some more values. So two more I will add over here. Let me just paste it. Okay. Let me just give them an ID. So it's 3, and it's going to be 2. Perfect. Let me take 2 more people from the chat. Okay, one I'm getting Sanjay Kar, and let's take some another one. Okay, here is Nil Devre. Correct. Perfect. So we have added 2 more people over here in my list. Okay. Now I can add conditional rendering over here as well. So based on conditions, I can render some particular specific values. Okay. So if we just go back now, okay, we are having 4 people, and if you want to give one space between them, let me do one thing. Let me just add simple class name over here, and I can say okay, name, and same class name I will add to this one as well. So it's name and name, and will import the styles from my app.css file. Apps.css, perfect. And we have already created this particular file. Okay, no need to worry. And simply I just want to give some padding and around it. So let's say 3 pixel of padding, and font size, let's say 20 pixel. It is perfect. Okay, okay. Now, yes, we can also add break. Okay, I know we can also add break, but that doesn't solve our problem. We just want one space between name and surname. Very simple thing. Okay, so what we can do now is, okay, now we want conditional rendering. So let's say I want those particular people from the list whose index is even number, whose index is even number. So for that, what I can do, let's say, so I need to write some conditions over here. We are using ternary operator. Very simple. Nothing apart from that. We are just using ternary operator. How you can use it over here. So let's say if I'm saying element dot id, if it is 0, okay, if it is 0 question mark, then render this particular whole thing. Okay, something like this we can say. And let me take it in React fragment once. Okay, then only render this. Otherwise, oh, otherwise just keep it empty, something like this. If I say, let us see if it works. Okay, what I want the person who is having the index, who are having the even indexes. Perfect. So yes, we are able to get only 2 people, Sanket and Sanjay, who are having even index value. So even index means like basically they are having this 0 and 2, I guess. Yeah, perfect. Right. Yes, Garvir, we can do anything based on condition. This is just one of the conditions, right? Perfect. Uh, I think screen is properly visible to all of you, I guess. Correct. Those who are saying okay, it is not visible, just increase your what you can say quality manually. Perfect. Okay, this is one of the aspect how you can render your items from the array on our React. Okay, that is another thing. Apart from that, now if I just remove all this thing, this whole code. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to know, let's say if we want to render, let me first remove all this thing. Okay. Now, what I will do, first of all, I will create one separate component. Let's call this component as component A. So it's component A, and extension is .jsx. Very simple. Now, if you have installed this particular extension, ES7 plus React Redux, okay, so on typing RAFCE and hitting enter, you will be getting this particular component created actually. Okay, we are having one simple function, component A, and okay, it is having some return, and we are having component A, which is already written over here. Correct. I hope that everyone is understanding what is this RAFCE. Correct. Okay. After that, if I want to show this component, let's say, let's write hello. I am component A. Let's say very simple. Save all this file. Okay. Now, if I want to show this component A in my app.js on the screen, what we can do for that? Correct. You just need to write this particular thing, component A. Correct. This is component A, and if you just go back now, okay, over here and see, I am getting hello, I am component A. Okay, are you guys able to understand? Correct. So if we want to render any other component inside my app.jsx, I just need to pass it over here. First of all, I need to import it. So in my case, it is getting auto imported. Correct. Because I am using this particular extension of React. Correct. And then just simply write it as a HTML tag. Okay. Single-ended HTML tag. Very simple. Right. Okay. I will explain it one more time. So I am having component a.jsx, right? We want these particular content which is written in my component A. I want this component to show in my app.jsx, which means I want to show this component on my web browser, correct? So simply what I need to do in my app.js after writing component A, I need to write this particular line, which is import. I need to import that component A, first of all, giving its location. After that, I just need to write it in a singly ended HTML tag. Okay, and make sure the component name should always start with the capital letters. Correct. Otherwise, it will not. It will give you an error. Right. Backend has been covered in the previous bootcamp. So if you are there, you know how APIs, how to create APIs, how to perform CRUD operations in the backend. Right. So it was covered in the previous bootcamp. Those who are asking me, and yeah, maybe in the future we will be covering that one more time as well. Okay. Perfect. So now what I want, let's say, uh, I will be, let's say if I want to send something in my component A, like we do in our JavaScript, if I want to send something in this component A, how I can send that particular thing. Okay. So those who know how we are able to perform this thing, let's say, let me show you this thing in JavaScript compiler in just 10-20 seconds. Okay. So here is my function, let's say add. Okay, here is my function add, and it is, of course, it is giving me this thing. Okay, addition of two numbers. So I will be saying addition of two numbers. Okay, and here I need to pass a comma b. There's a two number, but again I need to call this add function and I need to send something over here. So if I am saying 12 comma, let's say 13, okay, if I'm going and running this particular code, and then only then only I will be getting 25 in the output. So I am sending something from over here. Okay, all this, okay, I am sending some parameters over here, and here my function is taking a equal to 12 and b equal to 13 as an argument, and then it is performing this task a plus b and giving me the output. Okay, 25 is the sum of both numbers. Perfect. Apart from that, what we can do, what we can do is that now, so in React also we need to send something over here to this component A, and you already know component A is what, by the way, it is just a normal function, but it is a JSX function. It is not a normal JavaScript function, and we are able to send something over here. But how we can send this thing? So let's say I'm sending something over here. Let's say users, and I will be writing one object for it. Correct. So we need to write it in double brackets. So let's say I'm sending the same thing. Let's say name is Gurveer. Correct. And give me comma and last name. It's, I think, Baraj. Perfect. Oh, I think one bracket has been removed automatically. Perfect. I'm sending one particular user. It is not users now. It is just a normal one user. Right. So if I want to get this particular user on component A over here, how can I get it? For that, you need to pass again these brackets. Okay. And then you need to write the name of this particular thing over here. See, from here I'm passing user. So simply go there and say, okay, I want user. Correct. You just go in component A and do console for the thing that you are getting from app.jsx. What you can do for that? Okay. Can just go Oh, this is not the file actually. Okay, so I'm getting, okay, I'm getting name and all these things I'm getting perfectly in my component A. As you can see from where I'm getting the output, it is listed over here, component A.jsx line number 4. Very simple. Now, if I want to use this user to show over here, hello, I am, let's say, hello, I am, and instead of this A, I can just pass this thing something like this. Okay. If I want to say user and dot, let's say, what is the first thing is name, I guess, right? So something like this. Let me check one more time. Yeah, it's name. So if I am saying user dot name, I will be getting hello, I am Gurveer, right? Are you guys able to understand? Please make a file of data and let us know how to get the details. Yeah, sure, sure. Tomorrow we are going to see that thing only. So tomorrow we are going to perform one project. We are going to create this project 2 days. Okay. To like tomorrow and day after tomorrow. This is going to be a to-do list project where we are going to have one particular set of data and we will be dealing with data, how to add it, how to edit the data, how to update the data, and how to delete the data. We are going to see all those things. So don't need to worry about this thing. But first, let us understand the core things that you need to have in your mind while performing the project. Correct. So here I can say, okay, I'm getting hello, I'm Gurveer. Perfect. Apart from that, now there is another thing. Let's say if I want to pass any other thing as a props, I can pass, let's say, age. Okay. And age I can pass, let's say, 20 over here. I think Gurveer is in 11, 12. So let us just assume that, okay, his age is 17. We can pass it as a string, as a number, whatever we want. Okay. And if we want to get it over here, I can simply say, okay, after user, just write age, and simply I can give comma over here and I can say my age is, and here I can pass that name of the properties which we are using actually. Perfect. So I'm getting this thing over here. Perfect. Right. Okay. Perfect. Guru is saying I'm just 16. Great man. Still you are learning these things. Perfect. Okay. Great to hear that. Now what we can do now. Okay. So now we know that how to pass the properties from one particular component to another component in React. Okay. But one thing is there in React that, so whatever app.jsx file you see, it is what we called it as a parent directory or parent component. Okay. So whatever folders we are going to create or whatever components we are going to create after app.js, so we call them as a child component. So let's say I am having component. So what we have done up till now, let me do one thing. Let me go back to app.jsx and remove this user as of now. I will be simply removing it. I don't want these things as of now. Perfect. Uh, component A, I will remove user's age and all. Okay, I will simply say I want hello. Correct. Instead of that, what I will do, I will create one separate file now. Component p.jsx. Correct. And I will do the same thing. RAFCE. I will create another file component by the name component C. Let's say this time component C.jsx. Running this RAFCE. Perfect. Okay. All these things are done. Okay. Now what I want, see, I have passed component A over here in my app.jsx. Okay. If I go in component A and instead of writing whole this code, if I just go over here and if I say, okay, I am passing component B, let's say, correct. And in component B, I'm saying, okay, I want to pass component C, let's say. Oh, it should be component C. Perfect. It is imported by default. Right. And in component C, I can say hello from component C. Now, okay, the thing, and yes, I'm getting some error over here in component A. I'm getting error. So let me check if it is imported properly or not. Uh, yeah. So of course we are getting hello from component C. So please answer. Do you upload the code to GitHub for all of us to look? No, Gurveer, I'm not uploading this code to GitHub. I think while watching video, you understand the thing, and there is no lot of code that I'm writing. Okay, so whatever project we will be creating, that code I will upload definitely. Okay, these are just the basic things that you need to understand while watching the live sessions, right? Perfect, very easy. So now what I have done actually, see, in my app.js, I am calling component A over here. In my component A, I am calling component B. In my component B, I am calling component C. In component C, I am just printing something. So I want to say hello from component C. For that, I need to pass it to the component B. Then component B will pass it to component A, and component B will be attached to this app.jsx, and then my data will be displayed on the web screen. Correct. So in case we want to pass some props, let's say if I want to pass some props to component C, okay, and all these components are, just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so what is happening now? So let's say if I want to pass some props to component A, no, sorry, not to component A, to component C. So I need to pass that props from component this app.jsx to component A. Component A will pass them to component B, and component B will pass them to component C. So there is this particular hierarchy which is happening over here because my app.jsx is my parent directory. Component A is the child directory of my what parent directory. Correct. What extension? Okay. So the thing is, in case we want to pass directly the data from component A to component C, what we can do? Correct. So for that, we are going to learn one new thing today. Correct. Which is a new topic in React. But before that, let us understand this topic like thing. What is happening? Okay. So if I have to pass something to component C, so it will all the data will go through component A, B, and then C. But although my component A and B doesn't require that data, but still we need to pass it. Correct. So all this is a big problem because we are not only handling one single state in bigger applications. There are multiple states. Correct. So this is the problem which we called as prop drilling. Drilling means simply going one component through another, to another, to another component, right? So for dealing with that problem, if I want to pass something from component A directly to component C or through my app.jsx to directly to component C, what I can use in that particular scenario, correct? So for that there is one new context, new what I can say word which is we called as context API. Okay, so context API. So my context API is gonna have three different scenarios. Correct. Context API is gonna have one provider. Provider means what? In our case, our provider is app.jsx because we want to send something from app.jsx to component C. Correct. Now, second one is going to be consumer. Consumer is what? Consumer is, let's say, component C in our case because we want the data to be consumed by component C in very simple terms. Correct. So these are the very two important terms. And apart from that, we need to create a context around my provider and consumer. What is this context? Here we are going to store our state. Correct. And this context is provided to us by React. Correct. And now how to use it? Let us see. Let us see that. Perfect. I will be going back over here. Okay. And let me write this thing over here. Okay. I will be creating one context, which is going to be the global. Okay. This just because this is a global context, we can use it anywhere we want it. Correct. And according to me, app.jsx is the best place for creating context. Okay. Perfect. Right. So what we can do now, I can say, okay, const, let's say I will be adding the name as user context. You can give any name to it, depends on you. And I will be saying, okay, create context, and it will be automatically imported. As you can see on line number 1 from React, we are importing it, and just simply add this parenthesis over here. In this way, we can use this create context is what I'm saying. Right. Okay. Now Let me do one thing. See, I want to send this thing directly to component C as of now. I need to import it first. So component C, I can import it. I will remove component A line. Perfect. I directly want to send the props to component C. Now how I can send that? See, for that you need to say, okay, I will be writing user context. Okay, whatever name you have given to your context. So user context you need to write over here and dot. And first of all, see, I am writing dot provider. Why? Because my this particular app.jsx is going to provide something to my component C, right? That's why it is provider. Perfect. And I will be wrapping this component C with my user context dot provider tag, which is provided to me by create context. Correct. Very simple thing. Now, after that, what I will do, okay, I need to give it a value. So value can be anything. Let's say in my case, I am just giving it a, let's provide it a value of, let's say, Vidya. Someone is, I can see someone in chat. Hello, everyone. Perfect. Okay. So I am just giving something value over here. Okay. And you just need to write value. Nothing apart from that will work. Okay. So you need to understand these things. Correct. And I need to export this user context. And in one single component, we can only have one export. We can only have one export, which is by default, which is this one, which we are already having. Apart from that, everything needs to export like this. So I will to, let's say, oh, it is going to be the user context. So I will export it like this. Correct. And if I'm creating any other context, then just write it by comma separating. Very simple thing. Perfect. Okay. Coming back, now we can do, see, I will go back to my component C now. I want to consume this thing over here. So actually there are two ways of consuming. We can use new context. Sorry, one hook is there by the name use context. We can use that hook if you want to consume the data. Correct. Apart from that, you can use this consumer as in app.jsx. I have used provider. Over here in component C, you can use consumer. Literally very simple thing. But how to use it? Let us see how you can use it. Okay. For that, what I will do, first of all, though, I will require to import that user context. So I will be saying, oh, it is here. Import user context from /app. That's the location of it. Very simple. And then inside this div, I will do one thing. I will wrap this div in my React fragment, something like this. Yeah, perfect. And here I need to use the same word, which is user context dot. And in this time we are going to using this consumer. Correct. Very simple. We are going to be using this consumer, guys, over here. Right. I hope everyone is understanding what I'm trying to mention. Correct. Okay. Apart from that, and now if you just go inside this user context dot consumer, okay, this user context dot consumer will take what? It will take one callback, guys. Oh, I need to write it two more times. Okay, perfect. No need to worry. And let's give it any name. Let's say element or something like that. And then I need to return something from it. Correct. I will be saying, okay, I want to return something, and we'll be using this syntactic sugar form. And let's try to use h1 over here. Correct. So my user context dot consumer will take what? It will take one callback function. Okay, so every dot consumer method will take one callback function. I hope everyone is understanding. I am getting disconnected due to network. Oh, you need to rewatch then. Okay, it's very simple thing. So if I just go here, I will be correcting the spelling. Let me write element. Perfect. I will be saving this code. Correct. Okay, all this code has been saved. Now if you just go back over here, and if you are able to see, I am getting Vidya over here. Are you guys understanding me? Okay. So this Vidya, if you see, it has been passed from my app.jsx over here, and I am like not writing Vidya over here in any div or any tag HTML. I'm simply passing it using my user context dot provider. Very simple. Correct. Okay. And in component C, I'm getting it. Very simple. Right. Apart from that, uh, if you want to add a last name to it as well using this particular method, how will we do it? So we'll be going back to app.jsx, let's say. And okay, I need to create another context now for this. I will be saying uh, last name context, let's say. It should be context actually. Okay. I will be using create context. Okay. And this last name context, we need to wrap it up my component C inside this user context now. So what I will do for that, I will be using last context dot same thing provider. Okay. And now we need to wrap it up component C inside my last name dot last context dot provider. Very simple. Again, I will be adding some value from over here. So let's say let us just add some surname with their works. I think if you know the singer is there. Okay, that's a surname. Okay, and now the same thing we need to repeat over here in my component C as well. See, first of all, I need to go back to my app.jsx and I also need to export that context. So it's going to be last name context. Okay, make sure you are exporting it. Without it, you will not be able to import that thing. Correct. So I will be importing it first in my component C. And now see the magic is like, what is the magic? Very special thing over here. Okay, in component C, if you see, I have written this code over here, something like this. Okay, in return, I'm writing. But again, inside return, what I need to write another callback function. Okay, not callback function, sorry. We need to first take it as a consumer. So I will be saying last name context dot consumer. Perfect. Okay. And inside this, we need to write again one callback, something like this. And this time we'll be saying, okay, this is a last name. And again, it is returning me something because, of course, in JSX, something we are going to return to show us on our web pages. Correct. Perfect. Right. And if I do h1 over here, and now if I want to print name and last name together, so I will be using this, let's say, first is going to be the element, of course. And let's add one space over here, and then we'll be adding the last name, let's say. Yeah, I think simply we can use it, last name. Perfect. If you just go back now and see, of course, oh, sorry. Actually, I didn't know that we'll be getting this over here. So to give space, I'm using just a JavaScript, simple one space over here using JavaScript, right? So I'm getting, of course, with their works in the output. So are you guys understanding what we are trying to do? I hope no one is confused over here, whatever we have done right now. Correct. That's the one way for consuming the data. Apart from that, we can consume the data using our use context hook as well. It is again very simple thing, very simple. Correct. See, I hope you have the recording with you. You can come back to this particular recording at any particular time. You can read the code one more time, okay, and try it on your systems, right? Okay. So next, what I'm going to do, let's say, if we go back to this component C only, I will be removing all this content from my component C, let's say. Yeah, only this indentation I will complete, and I will be simply writing one h1 tag. I will be saying hello from. See what I'm doing now. Just see. Okay. See, I'm writing one particular variable by the name. Let's say first is my name, correct, and second variable is my last name. Perfect. And I will be using one another hook which is provided to me by whom? By React only, which is use context. Okay, use context I will use at both of the places, and this use context hook will take what? It will take the whatever variable we have created at the time of creating context. So first one is of course my user context, so I will be saying it will be using user context, and second if is the last name context. Very simple. I hope everyone is understanding. And now if I just go over here and if I say okay, I want a name and I want a last name, if I simply go over here and let me check if it is getting applied or not. Yes, successfully we are able to apply this thing. So instead of using this consumer method, you can use this hook which is created, which is use context hook, and this will make the thing much more easier for you to understand as well. Correct. I hope everyone is getting the things and no one is confused what I'm doing. Right. Okay. So I think this is too much for today. We have seen how to map down our array list, and apart from that, we have also seen context API, how to use it, right? So this much is sufficient as of now for today's lecture, for today's boot camp. Tomorrow we'll be starting working on our to-do list, in which then you are going to get how to fetch the API using React. So we are having two different methods for fetching the APIs. I will be explaining to you both of them. Don't need to worry. Okay, once you understand how to perform CRUD in React, okay, I think that is the only thing which you need to learn. And second thing is managing the states. Okay, these are the only two important aspects of learning React. I hope everyone is understanding, right? Yes, I will be sharing the attendance link. Meanwhile, I am expecting from every one of you that you have filled up yesterday's attendance form, and also you have applied for campus ambassador program. Okay, so if you still want to apply for it, there is one link given in attendance. You just need to click yes, that I want to apply for campus ambassador program. It is still open for you guys, right? I will be stopping my screen and just give me 1 second. Cam is like a bit down today, I guess. Perfect. Okay, so I will be sharing the attendance link with you. Okay, so I have shared the attendance link in the chat. Make sure everyone is filling it out. So for those who don't know what is this campus ambassador program, let me tell you one more time. So campus ambassadors are those students who are helping or who are the representative of DevTown at their college, at their campus. You are the face of DevTown at your college. So you will be helping us to arrange some events that we are planning. Correct. In that scenario, what campus ambassador is getting from us? Okay, so campus ambassador is getting some exciting gifts from DevTown. You will be getting the full-time offer that you are joining us as a campus ambassador. Apart from that, you are going to get the access to the web development course free of cost. Okay, and monthly we are having some meetings where people from different industries are coming, so you'll be getting the chance to attend that meeting as well. Correct. So these are the perks that you are going to get as a campus ambassador. So I hope everyone wants to join it. At least give it a try. Okay. So whenever you fill the form of for campus ambassador, within next 4 to 5 days, someone will call you from our team, from our operations team, and they will be giving you a simple task. Okay, after a small telephonic round, and you have to complete that particular task. And task can be anything regarding you have to arrange some events in your colleges or something like that. If you are successfully performing it, then yeah, then you will be getting full-time offer letter for 3 months of internship as a campus ambassador with DevTown. Correct. And yeah, that meeting is going to be online only, so you don't need to come over here. Okay, maybe in the future we are planning for offline meetings as well. We will invite our campus ambassadors on into the office or our office. Correct. Make sure everyone is filling out the attendance form, and also like the stream if you are attending it from the start. Okay, we are giving you such important content free of cost in boot camps. Correct. So yeah, that's it for today's particular boot camp. I hope everyone has understand. Okay, and okay, it is not telephonic task, telephonic interview. Okay, we just wanted to know whether you have some leadership quality in you, or whether you are good at communication or not. Okay, very simple thing. Perfect. Okay. So thank you so much for joining in. I will see you tomorrow at the same time, 7:30, and revise whatever we have seen in today's boot camp. Okay, tomorrow it will be helpful for you to understand the topics more easily. Correct. So see you in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye bye. Good night.